Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm very excited to welcome you to this final group of Crufts 2022, this evening's Gundog Group. Our judge today was born and began his canine interests in Norway under the Sigyn prefix, before later joining forces with his wife Kari. Now a familiar part of the UK dog scene, their Carrick's kennel is recognised worldwide for multiple top winners across a variety of breeds.
Hello and welcome to the last of our 7 groups to be judged here at Crufts 2022. It's time for us to find out which of the Gundog breeds is going to go forward to tonight's Best in Show competition. Now, I'm judged by Frank Kane, international judge, and Frank, we're both Gundog people, aren't we?
We are indeed, and our judge here, Sigurd Wilberg, he's from Norway, been living in England for a long time now, very successful as a breeder of Bouvier de Flanders, of boxers, of pointers, of mini wire dachshunds, a real all-rounder.
Now, ladies and gentlemen,
so he loves the Gundog breeds as well. So now, watching the breeds come in, the first one, the Italian, the Bracco Italiano.
And now we have the Brittany.
Here we have the short, hobby little Brittany.
Followed by the English setter.
The orange Belton English setter, a beautiful breed.
The German long-haired pointer.
There were 22 of the German long-haired pointer here today. This one won through.
And the German short-haired pointer.
One of the hunt, point and retrieve breeds, the all-rounders in the group, the German short-haired pointer. Very nice looking one too.
And then we have the wire-haired cousin. This is the German wire-haired pointer. 24 of them here today.
The Gordon setter best of breed, ladies and gentlemen.
The heaviest of the setter breeds, and a big cheer for this Gordon setter.
Vulnerable breed.
The Hungarian Vizsla.
The Hungarian Vizsla. 135 of them here today.
And the Hungarian wire-haired Vizsla.
Wire-haired cousin. Slightly heavier than the
Irish red and white setter.
Vizsla we've just seen. And here is the Irish red and white setter.
And the Irish setter.
Followed by my breed. Real cheer there for the Irish setter. 251 of them here today.
And here is the Italian Spinone.
And representing the imported register breeds are Korthals Griffon.
Here we have our representative from the import register. This is the Korthals Griffon.
Now we have the Lagotto Romagnolo.
Italian breed, the Lagotto Romagnolo, once a duck retriever, now goes searching for truffles.
And the large Munsterlander.
Make some money, that one. Here we have the large Munsterlander. 66 of them here today.
Your best of breed pointer coming into the ring now.
A breed close to our judge's heart. He's bred a lot of champions. The pointer.
And the Chesapeake Bay retriever.
The heaviest of the retriever breeds, the Chesapeake Bay retriever.
Followed by the curly-coated retriever.
And those small, tight curls of the curly-coated retriever.
The flat-coated retriever.
And now, this is the one to watch here.
Listen to the cheer.
Very famous dog from Norway and Sweden, a Scandinavian dog from a famous. And here, look at this, the cheer for the flat coat, the loyalty of these golden retrievers.
Now we have
the loyalty
Labrador
here,
retriever.
yes.
Followed by the Labrador. An incredible 456. Oh, this one's very happy to be here after a long day.
And the Nova Scotia duck tolling retriever.
The little Canadian decoy dog, the Nova Scotia duck tolling retriever.
The first of our spaniels.
Here we have the most glamorous of our
Cocker
spaniels. This is the American Cocker Spaniel.
Followed by the Clumber Spaniel.
The heaviest of the spaniel breeds, the Clumber Spaniel.
Now
we have the
our
dog
Cocker
that's won
Spaniel.
Best in Show more times than any other breed. This is the Cocker Spaniel.
And just this,
breed.
look at this lovely
Beautiful.
one. It's a red, compact,
And our
the
English
Merry Cocker.
Springer
That
Spaniel.
tail.
Highest on the leg of the land spaniels, the English
The
Springer.
Field Spaniel.
Followed by the Field Spaniel.
And the Irish Water Spaniel.
Yes, this love the big ring atmosphere. They're very clownish in their nature, very happy.
Sussex Spaniel coming into the ring now.
Here is the Sussex Roll coming this way. So They roll through the the short legs and the long body gives them this slight rolling action.
I think a crowd favourite there,
Yes,
getting some R's already.
It's the Date Gates, yes. And here...
You judged these today, did you, Frank? Was it Welsh today?
No, I did the Irish red and white today.
Red and white today.
Now
And here's the very nice Welsh Springer. And here is the Spanish water dog.
Wonderful woolly coat.
And a very young handler here, we see. Yes, look at...
The Weimaraner.
Oh, big cheers for the spectacular entrance of the Weimaraner.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for welcoming our Gundog Best of Breeds into the ring so warmly. I'll now hand you over to our commentators, Graham Hill.
So the Gundog Group are made up of dogs that were originally used for finding, flushing or retrieving game that's been shot. They're divided into 4 categories, which we've seen. They've had retrievers, spaniels, setters and pointers, and then HPR. Those are hunt, point and retrieve, the multi-purpose gun dogs, aren't they, Frank?
And our judge just walking around, taking in the first view of the best of breed winners, looking at their heads and expressions, their balance and outline.
There were 3,780 gun dogs entered here today, over 23%.
Taking in their breed type. Look at the shape and balance.
Look at the 32 breeds present here in the main ring.
The first indications of good breed type is that the dog is the right shape for the breed. The Irish red and white and the Irish side by side, they come from the same rootstock, but they're quite different. They're the German Wirehaired Pointer and the Italian Lagotto Romagnolo. German dog.
Now, the Gundog Group is always the most numerically strong of the groups, and when it happens to be on Best in Show Day, you get an even bigger crowd. So whoever does win this group is going to have real backing in Best in Show, aren't they?
Absolutely, they're all here to support.
Including Frank and I.
Retrieving is a vital part of the history, heritage and makeup of all the Gundog breeds. And once the hunter brought down the prey, the Gundog must always
so as I said, many of these breeds have the biggest entries at Crufts. So we've got the Labrador, the Golden Retriever, the Irish Setter, all in the top 10.
And our judge Sigurd Wilberg has bred a Gundog Group winner at Crufts, the Pointer, which went reserve Best in Show a few years ago.
He's from the Carrick's kennel, isn't he?
The Carrick's kennel.
Top breeders in pointers for 5 years, I believe, in a row.
Show your appreciation and congratulate all our best of breeds present in the main ring.
There's the first look.
The first of the Gundog breeds for Judge Sigurd Wilberg to look at is the Bracco Italiano. They were judged today by Mrs. Kim Paris, and from an entry of 51...
Now there's the striking outline of the Bracco Italiano, an all-purpose hunt, point and retriever from Italy. It's the all-rounder gun dog. It can scent out the game, and when it does so, it goes into a point or freezes, indicating where the birds are. When the birds are shot, he can retrieve the game, so he can do everything that the hunter would want.
They are a breed that loves to hunt. Particularly feathered game.
There were 51 Bracco Italianos here today. This one is Franco, a 5-year-old dog from Cumbria, taking best of breed.
Now, in their native Italy, they're very popular as working gun dogs. They are lean, athletic dogs. Lean skull, some dewlack. It's thought that they have some hounds in their background, which gives them a bit of extra flesh. Striding out well, athletic in stride, elastic skin for protection, for working in rough cover.
From an entry of 34, Frank sent forward.
There were 34 Brittany's here today, this one taking best of breed. It's a square cobby dog without any heaviness. Now, they can often be born with a natural bob tail. They should be short-backed and capable of flushing, pointing and retrieving, originating in France.
Paintings in the 17th century.
And they have this brisk stride, and like many of the gun dogs where we expect a long striding action, here they've got only moderate angulation, so that means their stride is rather clipped and short. It's a breed feature. So is that short, compact body, and they've got wonderful light muzzle and quizzical expression.
So this one, 2-year-old dog called Kion from Cumbria.
1, 2, 4, 5.
That's a very nice head and lovely eye. The ears shorter. They used to be called Brittany Spaniels, but they're not just Spaniels, they're HPRs, they're all-purpose gun dogs. So,
Mrs. Christine Jennings Sharman chose this bitch number 12500.
here the beautiful English setter. This one an orange Belton. Setters were used for distance work, to quarter the ground, centred for game, and they would go into a freeze or set to indicate to the location of birds to the guns.
The Duke of Northumberland is said to have had trained a setter.
Now, sadly, 3 out of the 4 setter breeds are now cast as vulnerable, which means there are less than 300 puppies registered during a year, and the English setter is one of those. This one is a 3-year-old bitch called Alex, here from Burton-on-Trent.
Now, the English setter has to be one of the most beautiful gun dogs with this lovely soft expression. Look at that lashing tail. The lashing tail action is a hallmark of the setter family. They love work. Beautiful oval-shaped skull, soft expression, and striding out well. This one an orange Belton, which means it's got orange fleck ticking in its coat. We'll also say blue Belton and tricolours.
First shown in Frankfurt.
Here we have the largest and the least numerous of our German pointing breeds. This is the German long-haired pointer. They were bred to work with falconers, and the coat's believed to have come from setters and crossing with spaniels. They should be powerfully built and well balanced, and they're a dual-purpose dog, so they can point when they find game, and then they will retrieve after they've been shot. So this one, a 6-year-old dog called Aris from Ayrshire. It's previously won at Czech national shows, so well-travelled.
And the breed was originally developed to work with falcon and hawk, but they have adapted very well to the gun. They're natural workers, great hunting instincts, and very popular in their native Germany and in this country, and have won a lot of field trial awards. They're instinctive workers.
The next dog for our judge Sigurd Wilberg to see is the German Shorthaired Pointer.
Now here is the German Shorthaired Pointer, this consummate all-round gun dog, going back to the 17th century with a mixture of German bird dogs and Spanish pointer, and then adding some English pointer blood into it. What I love about this breed is they're completely unexaggerated, fit for function.
From the German Shorthaired Pointer.
So this one, a 2-year-old dog called Hudson, was put through by very well-known gun dog judge Patsy Hollings, and he's here from Lancashire. And 64 of them were here today.
They're called short-haired pointers, but the coat is hard and dense. It's a coarse coat to give them protection.
They should be noble and steady, showing power, speed and endurance.
And they're compact, short-coupled, quite a square body.
This one really filling my eye.
It's the German Wirehaired Pointer. And it was Miss Barbara Stamp who judged the breed today.
And here we have the wonderful bushy eyebrows and full beard of the German Wirehaired Pointer. So this is basically a larger, more rugged version of the German Shorthaired Pointer. And that harsh, bristly coat helps to protect it when working under rough cover and in bad weather.
Shorthaired Pointer that we have just seen. Giving the impression of being
they are a little heavier than the German short-haired variety. The wire coat added to give them some protection for working in rough cover. It's thought that the wire-coated French Griffon or perhaps even Airedale Terrier blood was added to give them this coat.
So this one is a bitch, 3.5-year-old Hilda, across from Hungary, a world winner, a European winner, moving out beautifully here. A German Wirehaired Pointer should cover plenty of ground with the tail carried horizontal. You see that reach there at the front.
The second of our setters in the group. There were 140.
Now there was a big cheer when this Gordon setter came into the ring, and we see it takes its name from the Duke of Gordon, who developed the breed in his Scottish estate in Banffyre in the late 17th century.
The coat should combine deep, shining black coal with lustrous tan. And this one is almost 3 years old, a dog called Sullivan, here from North Lincolnshire. And today it's taken his 3rd CC, so that means that he has become a champion today, a show champion.
They are predominantly a black.
Now the black and tan colour is the only colour in which we have the Gordon setters these days, but the original, the bird dogs kept on the Duke of Gordon's estate were black, white, red and white and even tricolour, but selective breeding, and they've got, it's only this black and tan, and they're known for that rich tan and coal black coat.
from which he selected this male, number 12923.
A coat of russet gold is how the Hungarian Vizsla is described. There were 135 of them here today, and this is 4-year-old dog called Jasper from Gloucestershire, who won through Best of Breed. This is a noble dog, used in falconry in the plains of Hungary as far back as the 14th century.
It may well have arrived in Hungary with invaders from
This is a very handsome dog, deep-chested. It's moderate in bone. There's a rather gaunt quality to its head. It's lean, and there's big nostrils for scenting, and the coat should be slightly oily to the touch.
Best of Breed was this dog, number 13030.
And now the Hungarian Wirehaired Vizsla, thought to be the result of crossing the Vizsla with the German Wirehaired Pointer. 2 puppies were sold to a pet shop and bought by a Czech breeder who then went on to develop the foundation stock. That goes back to 1904.
With a more substantial frame and therefore...
Now this one is just 9 months old, a dog called Nacho from Scotland, and this is the first challenge certificate today, and I can tell you a gun dog to get through to this at 9 months old is pretty impressive, isn't it, Frank?
It's very impressive to get Best of Breed at Crufts, but we can see perhaps a little bit about his youth in his chest, which is not yet fully developed.
Yes, not the depth yet.
But he looks still strong, and he looks to have a wonderful coat. Those bristly moustache and beard he's got.
He selected this male, number 130.
Here we have the wonderful pearl white coat with rich red patches that characterise the Irish red and white setter. There were 55 of them here today, judged by Frank Kane. Now, these are the original of the version of the Irish setter and used to help in the field when nets were used to catch bird instead of guns.
And what a stylish dog this is. These are the poorer relations of the setter family, nowhere near as popular as the red setter, which we'll see in a moment. But this share the same ancestry. But the big difference are these wonderful chestnut markings on a pearly white background. They're heavier in build. This one very stylish. The never-ending wag of the tail. He became a champion today, and 5 of his children won their classes, which was amazing.
Wow.
Yes, indeed.
Athletic and powerful rather than racy.
And a beautiful, beautiful head.
Who found favour with judges Mrs. Sandra Christian and Dr. Ron James.
Now, Laura,
in Irish,
be still your beating heart. This is the Irish setter, the breed we are devoted to, and often just known as the red setter. It was first used before the double-barreled shotguns came in for netting birds and working with falcons. Comes from the same stock, the Irish setter stock, but they overtook the popularity. They became racy and glamorous with their coat. And this one from a famous kennel in Northern Ireland, the Gundog kennel, who have bred many champions and indeed won the group the last time Crufts was held.
So this one becoming a show champion today. Irish setter should be racy, balanced and full of quality, refined in looks and untiring. This a bitch, 5 years old, called Sky.
Point and retrieve breeds from continental Europe, the Italian Spinone.
Here we have the robust, squarely built dog, the Italian Spinone. There were 80 of them here today. This one won through a 6-year-old dog called Alba from Staffordshire. They should have a kind, almost human-like expression and powerful and well-muscled. See that here.
Now, they're heavily built dogs. They should have a lot of substance and thick, leathery skin and a harsh top coat. The top line is unique. There should be a little dip behind the withers and then a rise to the croup and a drop to the tail. That's not a failing, it's not a weak back, it's the correct top line for the breed. And they have this pounding trot, a pounding heavy trot.
This one winning its first CC today.
This male, number 16153. As best in the import classes. The Korthals Griffon.
Now, the Korthals Griffon has come from the import register classes. They're classes for breeds which are just developing their gene pool in this country and shown altogether in a variety of classes. This is a Dutch breed taking its name from its creator, Edward Korthals, a gamekeeper who went to Germany to use some of the German breeds and then took them back to the estate in France where he worked. Added some French blood, and here we've got this robust, short, hard-coated dog. The word Griffon means wire-coated.
She had an entry of 78. Yvonne chose this dog 13469.
Here we have the Lagotto Romagnolo breasted breed. There were 78 of them here today, and the name roughly translates as curly-coated duck retriever from northern Italy. Once the marshes had been drained in the 20th century, they were used to hunt truffles, so this is a dog that could make you some money. They should be squarely built, sturdy and robust. This one, 11 years old, a dog called Rico from Cheshire, really showing the longevity of this breed.
And now we see another of the Hunt Point retrieve breeds, the large Munsterlander.
And here we see the large Munsterlander, another German breed.
He chose this bitch, number 135.
It shares similar ancestry with the German long-haired pointer. And if this is the only colour we have the large Munsterlander in, this black and white or black with roan markings. All-purpose retriever, this clean head, slight slope in its top line, this slashing tail and clean striding. In Germany they also have a smaller version, the Klein Munsterlander, where they can be liver and white. In this country only the large Munsterlanders and this colour.
13504.
Pointers were judged today by Mrs. Norma Ellis, and from 100.
Here we have the thoroughbred of the Gundog Group. This is the best of breed pointer. 195 of them here today. This is 3-year-old Sydney. Now they're a wonderful example of a breed that's fit for function. The energy to range over large expanses, wide nostrils to scent game, and then the ability to freeze and point in direction at the game.
Centuries, shooting men have used the pointer, such an elegant breed, for indicating the presence and position of
the standard asks for a series of flowing, gentle curves. Everything should be curvaceous and symmetrical about the pointer. This one getting excited and throwing his feet around as he enjoys his big ring experience.
The Chesapeake Bay Retriever. There was an entry of 57.
Ah, what a beautiful head on this Chesapeake Bay Retriever, the heaviest of the retrievers. Just look at that thickness of coat. It's a weatherproof double coat, slightly oily to the touch. He was brought up in Chesapeake Bay to be a duck retriever and working for hours in the icy waters, so he needed to be fit for function. And this coat, hard and greasy to the touch, and a softer undercoat.
So the colour of the coat helps to provide camouflage for the dog, and it has very distinctive yellow or amber eyes. This one is 6-year-old Dapple, a bitch here from Shropshire. Webbed feet to aid it with swimming.
And interestingly, sometimes goes out in the boats with the hunters and launches itself into the water to retrieve the ducks.
There were 59 curly coats here today for breed judge Mr. Dan Eriksson.
The small, tight curled coat and wedge-shaped head of the curly-coated retriever. This breed bred to retrieve in water, and it's the oldest and tallest of the retriever breeds. 59 of them here today, and this is Samu, a 5.5-year-old dog over from Germany.
The curly-coated retriever is the tallest and possibly the oldest of all the retriever breeds.
And what a beautiful coat this dog has. It's real Astrakhan curls, which give it some, again, protection when working. It's got a wedge-shaped head, highest on the leg, big barrow ribs under that coat for lots of air and swimming.
Should have an effortless, powerful gait, which we're seeing there.
Flat-coated retriever. There was an impressive entry of 224 flat coats today, with the breed having
now here is the flat-coated retriever, 224 of them today, and they were established in the middle of the 19th century and developed by crossing the early Labradors with setters. Now this dog is a liver. We're more accustomed to seeing the black flat-coated retrievers. The liver is much the rarer of the colours. What cheers going out for this? This is a big winner in Norway and Sweden.
This is Baxa, a 6.5-year-old dog, over from Norway, and a huge winner in Sweden, Norway, multiple Best in Show winner.
And I have to tell you, he's won a Best in Show under me in Sweden, so I've got a soft spot for this dog.
Wonderful reach there, look at the front legs, dry from behind.
He's got this clean-cut, racy outline.
And they just picked the top spot by the Labradors by 2.
Biddable, intelligent and with natural working ability. It's no wonder that the Golden Retriever is so popular. The biggest entry here today, 458 of them. This is Titus over from France, and listen to the crowd.
not only in the UK, but across the world. That's our
And this is what wonderful temperament. No wonder this is so popular. Gorgeous to live with. This is very handsome. Good bone, this broad skull and soft expression.
Any shade of gold or cream, and the coat can be flat or have slight wave to it. Should be powerful on the move.
192 males for Mrs. Linda Harvey Major.
Now the Labrador Retriever, 456 of them here today. 2 judges needed to decide, and it used to be always the top registrations in the country, but has been overtaken now by the French Bulldog. This is a very smart black Labrador. Now, if you want to go in field trials or onto shooting, this is the dog. They're unbeatable. This lovely double coat developed in the British Isles, but he comes from dogs which came from St. John's Island in North America.
And that otter tail, a real calling card of the breed there.
Broad skull, lovely expression, thick double coat for protection in those icy waters.
The last of the retrievers here in the group for Judge Sigurd Wilberg to assess. This is the Nova Scotia.
Here we have a rather small dog with a rather long name. This is the Nova Scotia Duck-Tolling Retriever. 144 of them here today. They originate in Canada and only came to the UK fairly recently in the 80s. They were bred to use a vigorous tail action to lure wildfowl within range of a gun. They are excellent in water and their webbed feet allow them to swim well.
It was originally known as the Little River Duck Dog.
Riding out well.
This one here from the USA, 7-year-old dog called Fire, and it's the #1 toller in the US for the last 2 years.
The smallest of the retriever breeds, conical head, slightly tapering muzzle, short, high-set ears, and that tail, which sometimes has a white tip on it. You also want white on the feet.
59, for which she selected this veg number 15201 as her best of breed winner.
Now, the American Cocker, 59 of them here today, recognized only in 1946. They have the same ancestry as the Cocker Spaniel, which we'll see later. This, the black American Cocker. It's a luxuriously coated, this plush head, dome skull, and it should retain that sloping top line on the move. The tail carried high, higher than the other Spaniels. A real striking show dog.
This one is Vera, not yet 2 years old, a bitch from Nottingham. Effortless on the move, they're covering the ground despite its size.
And although they might not look like working gun dogs, we have had a couple of full champions.
Here we have the heaviest of the Spaniel breeds, the best of breed Clumber Spaniel. They should be powerful and athletic and were bred to flush game under heavy cover. They became popular with nobility and George V had many of them. Their name comes from Clumber Park in Nottingham.
1788.
Now, he's a little bit tentative. He's not using his tail very well. He's not quite at ease in the big ring here.
It's a long day for these dogs, isn't it? Here from many of them shown from 9 a.m. They should have a dark amber eye and a large square head, strong body, well-sprung ribs.
It's an entry of 321 for Cocker Spaniels.
Now, this is the breed with which I grew up, the Cocker Spaniel. Takes its name from the birds it was used to hunt, the woodcock. It shares the same roots as the other land spaniels. All of the land spaniels were bred together, and their breed determined by their colour when they were born. So a Sussex was liver, a Cocker could be party colour, and that's how they were divided into the land spaniels. This, the Cocker Spaniel, the most popular of them, compact and cockery, known as the Merry Cocker because of its ever-wagging tail.
The Cocker could be traced way back in history.
This one, 4-year-old bitch called Chloe from South Wales, has won multiple best in shows at breed clubs, a Group 1 at championship shows, and is also the breed record holder for golden bitches with 21 challenge certificates. And look at that tail, it's almost propelling her.
And what's lovely about this, it's compact, it's square and cockery, big-ribbed, absolutely unexaggerated, and what a temperament.
And the next dog to be judged is the English Springer Spaniel. Judged today by Mr.
Here we have one of the former land spaniels, this the English Springer Spaniel. There are 131 of them here today, and this is Melvin, a 3-year-old dog from northern Lincolnshire. When the land spaniel breeds were divided out, the English Springer was bred for the colour and size, and it's the highest on the leg.
The Norfolk Spaniel. He took his present
Now
name
this one
in
is
the
called
1900s.
Beresford As Good As It
Official
Gets, so that's a
breed
hard name to live up
followed 2
to,
years
but it's a
later.
very stylish dog. The interesting thing about the English Springer Spaniel is its front action. It really strides out in front, throwing its front legs forward and covering the ground very stylishly.
And shown here by a young Kennel Club member who just won the Young Kennel Club Stakes finals with another English Springer from this kennel.
Judged today by Gareth Lawler, number 15706.
Here, the Field Spaniel is the dignified member of the Spaniel family. His pedigree contains a mix of all the other land Spaniels. They're that long, noble head, beautifully chiselled, almond-shaped eyes, is bigger than the cocker and longer than the cocker, and with heavier bone.
The Field Spaniel is therefore a useful medium-sized gun.
By the 1880s, the breed was almost ruined by using a Basset Hound cross, so the remaining breeders had to get the other land Spaniels. They used an English Springer, and that brought other colours into the breed. Usually they're black, liver, but they can also be roan.
This one, a 4-year-old dog called Marvel from Dorset. The head should convey an impression of high breeding and should be long and unhurried on the move.
A dignified, unhurried stride, and that's what we're getting here with his lovely classical head.
Entry of 37 to consider. Judge Mr. Chris Beckson chose
Here we
this
have
dog,
the
number
clown of the Gundog Group, the Irish Water Spaniel. Some distinctive features include that really tight coat and also the top knot and the rat-like hairless tail. Classed as a spaniel, but actually works as a water retriever. The breed club for these was founded in 1890, but the breed has been known for centuries. It should be smart, upstanding and smartly built.
Very willing. They need lots of exercise too. This is the Irish Water Spaniel Best of Breed 15782.
Mrs. Ann Moss was in charge of the Sussex Spaniels today.
Now, 39 Sussex Spaniels here, takes its name from the county in where it originated and developed to work in thick undergrowth. It's the lowest to ground of all the Spaniels, strongly made to bowl through the undergrowth. Mr. Fuller of Rosehill Park near Hastings in Sussex developed the breed. It's got this rich golden liver coat with the lighter tips.
So this is 5-year-old Frank from Oxfordshire. He should have a characteristic rolling movement, which we can see there.
And that comes from the short legs and the big barrel ribs underneath, yes. And this
frowning brow as well.
broad head, soulful expression, yes. Very steady gait.
Spaniels is the Welsh Springer Spaniel. Judged today by Mrs. Susan.
Here we have 12-year-old Evie, the Welsh Springer Spaniel bitch, winning through Best of Breed from 138 entries today. The Welsh Springer should be symmetrical, compact, merry and active. They're built for endurance and hard work. And look at this one, going out so well at 12 years old. A real credit to her breeders.
Absolutely. I mean, you would never guess that this was a 12-year-old veteran. That lovely colour, it's the only colour in which the Welsh Springer comes, this rich chestnut and white. In the early days, they were sometimes known as the Welsh Cockers, and they introduced parti-colour. The use of Welsh Springer blood introduced the parti-colours into the Cocker Spaniel.
This breed is a relative newcomer to the Crufts Gundog Group.
Now, the Spanish water dog, the multi-purpose water dog. It was used in its native country to bring in nets and bring in the boats, but it was also used for herding sheep and herding shoals of fish towards the nets. That's pretty unique, isn't it? It also is here in the Gundog Group because it's used well for the gun. It's a good water retriever.
First recognised by the Spanish Kennel
This one, the youngest handler, I think, that we've seen come through to the groups this year and winning its first CC today. It's a 2-year-old dog called Curly Cooley, which is a bit of a mouthful if you're in the field, but nevertheless, that's the pet name.
We travel from Spain to Germany now and see the Weimaraner.
Here we have our final Best of Breed winner in the Gundog Group, the Weimaraner. 108 of them here today. This breed, sometimes known as the Grey Ghost. It was created in Germany as a hunting dog for nobility, and it is better known post-World War II when it became exported. It should be a picture of power, stamina and balance.
Immensely popular.
The nobility of the Weimar Republic loved this breed and they wanted it to remain exclusive. And they set up the first clubs, and they didn't allow dogs to be sold to non-members.
They should have distinctive eyes of either amber or blue-grey.
We'll now take one last look at the group in its entirety.
Our judge has seen all of the best of breed winners in the Gundog Group. Which will he choose for his shortlist?
And Sigurd's wasted no time. That's quite speedy judging. He knows what he likes and what he wants. He's got an instinctive eye. So he'll just be reminding himself now. It's the first time he's judged a group at Crufts, but he's an international all-breeds judge.
So just taking one last look, comparing these dogs to their breed standards, but also thinking which of these is going to really represent the group in Best in Show later this evening.
Well, taking his time, looking round at a distance to take in the whole dog, the outline and balance of the dog. And he's calling in the Brittany.
Fantastic for that breed.
The Vizsla, handsome, strong Vizsla. The Irish setter.
Yay.
The Irish setter.
The Pointer.
The aristocrat of the group there.
The flat-coat retriever.
You couldn't resist that one, could you?
The Nova Scotia duck collar and the red cocker. No, sorry.
Oh no, that's the worst.
The red cocker spaniel and the Weimaraner.
That's the kind of thing I'd do by accident, I've got to say.
He's only got 7 at the moment. Does he want anyone else to make up the 8, or does he know his winners amongst these 7?
We've had 9, but we've never had 7, have we, this year? So
the curly-coated retriever is brought out. So there is a short list of 8 now.
Leave the ring and ask you, the audience, to show your appreciation.
It's going to round of applause for all of the other best of breed winners. Done really well to get here.
I think we'll see them now moving back to the barrier in the ring, and then we'll see them up and down to check on the movement, see which one's really carrying itself which has got the real presence to win the group. Well, there's some good ones, but I think a few of them stand out here. Now,
that flat coat really does look a picture, doesn't it, Frank?
Smart dog.
But really nice to see the Brittany here in the shortlist.
Absolutely.
Not the most popular, but really good workmanlike little dogs, aren't they? And great pets.
And just checking some details.
Square.
That cobby body, good legs and feet, and that lighter type of head, shorter ears, and brisk and holding its top line beautifully on the move.
So this is a 2-year-old dog called Kion here from Cumbria.
And bred in the Bonapartist kennel, which have been very successful in this country.
New champion today. So next we have our Hungarian Vizsla.
And this is a very striking dog. Lovely outline, very good legs and feet, and striding out well.
You can see those broad nostrils there for scenting. A hunt, point and retrieve dog, so multi-purpose. Now here we have the Irish setter. So Diane Stewart-Ritchie won the Gundog Group last year with a different Irish setter bitch. This one is 5-year-old Sky. Can she do it again?
Well, it's a very clever breeder. And here is the free-striding Pointer lashing its tail.
Really fills the eye. This 3-year-old dog called Sydney.
And the high head carriage is allowed, its muzzle is concave and to tip its nostrils to take in the scent.
And here goes
this dog's going to be hard to beat, I think. Baxter, 6.5 dog over from Norway, multi-champion.
He might not be a backseat driver tonight. He might be in the front seat.
And this colour isn't as popular, is it, in flat coats,
no,
Frank? We've seen less of them.
But when you get one like this, I mean, it could popularise the colour.
And
but this is also gorgeous. This is a real crowd pleaser.
Glowing. Look at that tail.
Real breed type, compact, unexaggerated. Coming from a small kennel in Wales, they only keep perhaps four dogs. They're household pets, and they've been very successful, always having top quality cockers.
A merry little cocker indeed, that one. And the final dog in the group.
Off goes our
this one to be judged.
Grey Ghost of the Weimar Republic. His gaunt, noble head, free striding, very statuesque and elegant in its outline, but a lot of substance.
Apparently this one believes that he's a part-time sheepdog at home.
The curly coat retriever, Sent through to the group by Dan Erickson.
Here's the curly-coated retriever with its
13877.
thick Astrakhan curls.
This one over from Germany, a 5.5-year-old dog called Samu.
So with Sigurd Wilberg having selected his shortlist.
It's a very strong shortlist. But who is going to be going through to best in show later this evening? Only one can go.
Now, all on their toes here. Handlers holding their breaths. The boards are coming out. Soon we might know. Now he's become thoughtful, thinking.
Has he decided?
I think he's going to move them.
Oh gosh,
he's going to put them into size.
Size order.
He's going to put them into size order for going around the ring.
Now this is the mark of an experienced judge. Because otherwise you end up with your Weimaraner running into your Brittany and it's chaos, isn't it, Frank?
The long striding dogs, the tall, longer legged dogs at the front.
Yeah.
He'll send them round. He'll be looking at their side gait, the length of their stride, their top lines and their carriage. This is a sign of ring presence at this stage.
And Gundog's really important that they can move out well. So the judge here just comparing them to their breed standard and to one another.
And this is the first time we've seen this at Crufts this year, where the dogs have been sent round together. It's a very nice spectacle to see.
I like to do that when I judge, and I think, do you do that as well, Frank? So you can see them on the move together.
Yes. So, now, decision time, Sigurd.
Taking a really good look.
Right.
He's not going to be rushed. I think he's going to move them again. So the Hungarian Vizsla.
One by one, he's sending them. This is a test of their carriage, their deportment and their presence. There's the
beautiful Irish setter Sky there. There've been 4 Irish setters have won best in show before. Could that be the 5th?
13658.
Testament to these dogs being fit for function, that they're still moving like this when many of them were shown here from 9 AM today.
He's foot perfect, this lovely, clean, racy outline, perfect tail carriage, and look at the length of that stride. He's another one who's a free-striding dog. So these longer-legged dogs cover the ground economically with long strides.
And these handlers really getting the best out of the dogs in this big ring. You don't often get the chance to show in a ring this big, so you've got to make the most of it when you do.
Now we go for the smaller ones, the clipped stride of the shorter dogs. And here,
so it looks like he's not going to move those again.
Right.
This is keeping these handlers on their toes, isn't it? Having to set them up and run and set them up.
It's building up the suspense for us as well.
It's keeping us on our toes. But where is he going to go?
He's heading towards, well, perhaps not.
Where's he going? You can feel the tension in here tonight.
The boards
are there, come on.
Winner of the Gundog Group, Crufts 2022 is...
It was...
No,
even the crowd can't cope now.
the flat coat.
It's the flat coat. He doesn't believe it. That's wonderful. Listen to that reaction.
And the Irish setter in second place.
And then the beautiful setter in second place.
The Vizsla is in 3rd place, and the Cocker Spaniel in reserve. So there we are. What suspense!
That was wonderful.
So,
and he didn't quite believe it. I love that. Are you moving me again, or have I won? I won.
So there you are. What a great win.
Great sportsmanship. So this is the winner of the Gundog Group.
Right there. Was it as bad for you, Patrick and Baxter, winning that Gundog Group?
It was, but I was just focusing on him, so I didn't see what was happening in the ring.
Well, many congratulations. We're out of time. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the Gundog Group winner.
So here we have Baxter, a 6.5-year-old dog from Oslo. Handled here by Patrick Awar.
And coming from the very famous kennel, the Almanza kennel, have known all over the world for their flat coats. great type, great showmanship.
He's the best dog and companion, is what the owner has said here. A natural will to please, ever wagging tail,
And this
loves
is,
people and children.
And this is Sandra Marshall handing out the rosettes, presenting the trophy. She has Vizslas herself. She'll be very pleased to see the Vizsla in 3rd place.
And Irish setter there in 2nd. So Diane last year took top spot in the group, this year 2nd. But I have no doubt that she will be back again.
And that the wonderful, look at that, the cocker, the affection of that cocker.
4-year-old Chloe there.